Howdy everyone, I'm the gamedev, and this is the making of You Are Not Home Alone. This game is my submission for Brackeys Game Jam, so let's see what was the theme. So as you see, the theme was You Are Not Alone. And luckily for me, I got an idea from my sister about this specific theme, which is instead of like you are not alone, that you have your friends, families or whatever with you. No, you take the approach that you are not alone somewhere, and that this like there are monsters, ghosts, whatever, so like this house is haunted where you are. So let's start. Day 1. On day 1 I had a problem with Unity because I just reinstalled Windows. So instead I started working on the art early, but later I fixed the Unity. It turns out I forgot to install Java because, well, I reinstalled Windows so everything was gone, and I forgot totally about Java. So I started working on the gameplay scene, and later I started working on the character animation. So I built up the beginning of the gameplay scene, added some props and stuff, and in the end I made the animations for the characters, so like this animation and the normal animations, and that marked the end of day 1 because, well, I didn't really do much in it because of the problem with Unity. So let's go to the second day. Day 2. In this day I worked on the player movement script, and like I started working on the bits and bobs in the gameplay scene, so like player movement scripts and the flashlight mechanics. So the idea is that this flashlight will be used to hurt the enemies, the ghosts. So it's like a top-down shooter. So as you see, the flashlight was working kind of fine with some errors which we'll fix later. And then I started adding the the enemy, and worked on its animations. And I made the script for the ghost enemy, and made him like cast shadow, and as you see now he follows the player. He still doesn't kill him, but we will work on that later. Next I worked on the player script so that he damages the ghost, and if he gets hit by the ghost he dies, I guess. As you see, okay, there is a problem. Hold up, I guess I fixed it now. Now it should damage the enemy. Let's take a look. So as you see, when I left click, it turns to ultraviolet color and damages the enemy. See? And here is this screen. Now day 3. On day 3, that was the big day where I finished like pretty much everything regarding the gameplay scene. Not exactly everything, I added stuff later, but like the main bits and bobs. It's like I fixed the flashlight. There was a problem with it, that it will only damages one enemy. I made it so that the ghosts, when they get in the range of the flashlight, they enter a list. They get out of the list when they're outside of the bounds of the flashlight. As you see, on the top right there is a list that when the ghosts are inside the bounds of the flashlight, they enter the list, and when I left click, it makes raycast to them, to the ghost, and damages them. And now as you see, I made the enemy spawners so that they spawn from outside of the bounds of the camera, but it was kinda glitchy, but I fixed it later. Next I made the camera follow the player with the bounds for the map using the Cinemachine, and now as you see, everything is working. Now we will get to this floating flashlight later, but this is like the starter of the gameplay. You will work on it later. Next I worked on the health multiplier and level system and stuff, like the gameplay manager for the game. So now I have okay, that was a glitch, or I mean a bug. So I started working on it, and I think I fixed it. So here I tried testing it. It didn't really do it here, nor here. So I guess I fixed it. But now like the flashlight has a bar that runs out. I worked on the level up systems, like there are the buttons. The screen comes up every 10 level, and then it increases by increment of 5 every like level. So like you have the range, but the range, the charge, the damage, and finally the speed. These are the upgrades for the level. And now let's test I did the score and the level, and also made the flashlight work. So here when I glitch it, you are not alone, the house is haunted. And the ghost starts spawning, so everything is working fine. And like pretty much, and here as you see level score 10, and I increase the range. And now if I walk around, you see the ghost spawn normally, and here I go. Day 4. I worked on the title screen, added the buttons and stuff, and added the animation for the "You're Not Home Alone" title. But there was a problem, the buttons didn't work. Turns out that putting the panel, that black fade panel at the bottom made a problem. So I moved it upward, made sure everything else is working fine, and now it should be working. You see the buttons are clickable now. Perfect. So I fixed everything, made everything work. Now every button I click will made pop up a screen. So here's the controls, the score, which is not working yet, and here if I press this, the game starts. I made this entrance scene, and here I finally made the demo to send to my friends to test the game. The demo is working fine. The player should jump off the bed. Here you go, and now he's movable. And here we go to the gameplay scene. So that was the demo, everything was working fine, but it lacked sound and some bits and bobs that may give the game more life, and here I go. Now day 5. In this day I started working on the sound design. I made the sound effects through FBX something, I forgot the name. I tried working on gameplay music, but I failed horribly. So I decided to use Boss Time by David Renda. I will leave a link in the description. I made the high score system so that it through player preferences, so that it will store the scores that you get to. So now as you okay, wait, there's a problem. Hold up. You fix it. Okay, here we go. As you see, it's 0, and if I play now, as you see, I added this. What is that? Because like there is a sound. Unfortunately, I forgot to record the sound. But here we go. I will now like kill 2 enemies, and here you go. As you see, I died with score of 2, and if I click the score, there is 2. And if I stop playing and get back, play pressing, score is still 2. So that was so fun. Next, I started working on other enemies, like the speedy one. This is the heavy hitter, the tank character, and there is a little tiny one other. And finally, day 6. I started working on a secret room. This room is unlockable once you reach level 10. So as you see here, you have to reach level 10 to proceed. And now if you get, everything is working fine, and I died. And if I press here, the game will start normally, and I finally made the game to submit on itch.io for the game jam. That was it. I finally reached the end. As you see, there is a download here, and the game works fine. I full screen. Unfortunately, I didn't really give it a good resolution. That was a mistake, but we learn every time. And like that, I finished the game with 1 day, 17 hours, 29 minutes, and 21 seconds left. Here, let's submit it. What? Hold up. Okay, here I refresh this. Okay, it's now working. I just had to refresh it. Now I will leave you with gameplay for the game.
You are not alone. The house is haunted.